Elizabeth May saying so long as leader of the federal Green Party, just one of the stories making it big in a week in Ottawa. The Globe and Mail's Laura Stone joins us now. Laura, great to talk to you today.
Good morning, Ben.
13 years, longest serving federal leader from the most unlikely of federal leaders, Elizabeth May. What does the future look like without her as the leader of the Green Party?
Well, that's a big question, right? Because for so long, the Green Party has been Elizabeth May. She was a one-woman show in Parliament, and she was quite effective on the floor of the Commons, even though she really had relatively little power. Now she's got a party of three, and, you know, we all expected Elizabeth May would step down at some point before the next election.
She made no secret of that.
She made no secret of that, but it's surprising that she's done so now. And she says she's done this for a couple of reasons, for personal reasons. She promised her daughter that she would leave, but also I think she wants to give the party time before this minority parliament breaks up at some point. So they're going to have a leadership race in October 2020. But that is the big question. The Green Party in this past election had some disappointing results? Maybe didn't focus as much on the roots of climate change and environmentalism. So it'll be interesting to see the new leadership candidates whether they want to take the party back to that solo direction.
All right, so we're going to move on from the Green Party to something we don't often talk about on this show, the Senate. There's some really weird movement in the Senate these days. So what's happening with this new caucus that's being formed?
So there's a new group called the Canadian Senators Group, not to be confused with the Independent Senators Group, not to be confused with non-affiliated senators, Ben.
Yeah.
This is kind of that new face of the Senate since Justin Trudeau kicked all of the Liberals out and there are, no more Liberal senators, although the Liberals still have to appoint senators. This is a new group that popped out with such names as Pamela Wallin, Vern White, the former police chief of Ottawa. They're representing what they say is regional concerns across the country. You know, just what that looks like and what they'll be able to do is kind of a question right now.
Yeah, because this has to be in reaction to something. You don't just wake up one day and say, I want to change the dynamic of the Senate. You do it because something happened. Do we know what that thing is?
I don't know if there was, a breaking point, but obviously this group didn't feel like their voice was getting heard in kind of that independent Senate group. They wanted to do something different, by forming a caucus and inviting more people to join them. It will be interesting to see how they best represent the regions.
And that does
Canada.
come with perks, right? If you do get recognized as a caucus, then you get funding and research and staff.
Yeah, they'll be able to have more of a voice than they would if it was just one or two people.
All right, tomorrow, the Conservatives are holding their first caucus meeting. It's not a test of Scheer's leadership, but it's almost like he's going to the doctor and he's getting a checkup and they're going to let him know how he's feeling, what his health is.
Yeah, I mean, this probably won't be too pleasant, just like sometimes doctors' visits aren't. I mean, this is the first time that he's faced his caucus since the election. He'll be getting feedback from them. I think, it's sort of a post-mortem of sorts where people are going to vent about the election. And I think we've also heard from Conservatives that he'll have to present a plan for the next 6 months. This is how I'm going to move forward. This is how I'm going to deal with the Liberals. These are the lessons that I've learned from the election campaign.
And is this his hope sort of to establish sort of a beachhead in anticipation of a leadership review?
I think so. I think he has to show that he's still in charge, that he knows that the mistakes that were made and the accomplishments as well, and try to show that he's still the leader and he's still the face of the federal Conservative Party.
I've always said there's nothing more interesting as far as the news than a minority government. And moving forward, there are so many strings to pull at. We're glad you're here to
Absolutely.
help us do that. All right.
Thanks, Ben.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.